fame. If you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Long.
Welcome to the Boomer Pod podcast, everyone. Today's guest is movie and television stunt performer, coordinator, and actress, Miss Tammie Baird. Welcome, Tammie. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Can you tell us about working with Katey Sagal in Rebel and Son of Anarchy?
Yes. So working with Katey. So I first started working with Katey on Sons of Anarchy, and I was so thrilled because I had grown up watching her on television. One of the shows my grandfather and I would watch together was Married with Children. So you can imagine how thrilled I was when this opportunity arose. And I wasn't offered it. I had to go fight for that opportunity to get it because I thought I'd be a great double for her. And thankfully, so did the coordinator. But working with her is amazing. She is so kind and thoughtful. A lot of the things that I did for her, like on Sons of Anarchy, she was always so kind about, like, it's not how she lives her life, but those were the characters. So that's, we were doing things that were just horrible. And she was always thoughtful and kind and concerned about my safety. So I love that. And it was even greater when I got asked to double her again on Rebel. I had so much fun that I was so bummed the show didn't get picked up for a second season because it was amazing. It was an amazing show. Saddens me to this day that it's still not being filmed.
And how about David Lynch? And how did you come out of the Twin Peaks experience?
Working with and for David Lynch was amazing. I had the best experience. So I booked the role of Lorraine on Twin Peaks: The Return. And when I went to set the day, it was so beautiful. Like, he calls you by your name, your character's name. And he brought me into my office where we were filming. And, it was just such a beautiful moment that, first off, it's David Lynch. And I'm so lucky that I'm having this one-on-one conversation with him, and we're talking about my character. I wish somebody was videoing it because I'd love to watch that moment over and over again because it was so special to me. Like, I can't even, like, I dream that I get to work with him again because he was so amazing and kind, and I just love the way he writes and directs, and I could just go on and on and on.
Stunt Women, the untold Hollywood story from 2020. What was the most challenging about making that documentary, Tammie?
Well, I was not in that documentary much. I just did a small appearance, a cameo, if you will. So I wasn't involved in the making of that, but I'm very grateful that I was asked to come on and speak and, be a part of it.
Okay. Both Melissa Stubbs and Angela Merrill have been our guests here on Boomer Pod.
Awesome.
Are you familiar with their work?
Yes, of course I am. They are amazing, both of them. They're just wonderful stunt women.
All three of you ladies fall into the category of real stunt badasses.
I love it.
How do you wear that moniker?
I don't know. Every time someone says that, like, "Oh, Tammie, you're a badass. You're a badass." I, say thank you. I love what I do. I love that I am good at getting hit by cars and falling down stairs and do it safely. It's an interesting occupation for sure. And I love that you put me in this category with two amazing stunt women who I have so much respect for. But you know, it's awesome what I do. And I love that people think I'm a badass. Because right now in this life, not on set, I'm not a badass at all. But for work, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Now, SAG nominated your work as an actor in Sons of Anarchy, Dexter, and Iron Man. How did that work differ from performing stunts? And if you could give us just a few words about each one of those movies.
Well, I wish they were for acting, but those were not for acting. Those were all for stunts. Each of those, Sons of Anarchy, Dexter, and Iron Man, those were an ensemble of stunts. So that nomination I received with the ensemble for each of those projects. You know, and it was great. The first time I got nominated for a SAG award, that was for Sons of Anarchy. I had to think about it. And because I feel like I have another nomination, but I can't remember. That's horrible. But I think it was Sons of Anarchy. And I was so excited. You know, I don't have many awards. I'm not an award collector, but I always thought it was so great. You know, when my friends would do gymnastics or dance or play soccer or sports, they'd always come back with these trophies. And I was always like, I want one of those. So when I get nominated for anything in my industry, whether it's for stunts or for acting, it really warms my heart. And I love it. I love it. I love my industry and my job so much. I'm grateful for each and every job I get, let alone get a nomination. That's even better, you know, grateful.
And how about Dexter?
Dexter was a great show to work on. I worked on that several different episodes, doubling different actresses. And, you know, they were all very interesting tasks that were asked of me. One of my favorites from Dexter, my character that I'm doubling is dead. And we filmed it in Long Beach, and I'm tied to an anchor of a yacht. And so we had to wait till all the water, no air bubbles coming from me. So we had to wait till all the water was still. And then the anchor comes up, and it's my dead body hanging there. And I can't move, obviously, because I'm dead. But what no one knows is that water was freezing cold. And I'm wearing just like a doily, like a thin shirt. And all my body wants to do is shiver. And my internal monologue is, don't you dare. So I just had to do my mind over matter, keep my body as still as possible. But as soon as they yelled cut, it was like my teeth would chatter as fast as they possibly could. And it was freezing, you know. It's looks glamorous on TV and film, but it's not so much.
And Iron Man?
Iron Man, that was so long ago. I was just part of the ensemble, and it was fabulous. Just doing some driving work. That was an interesting project for sure. We had, you know, paparazzi hiding, like we were working on a freeway, like a road that we had owned that we bought to film on that night. And we had like paparazzi in the bushes, like hiding, trying to get like photos. It's crazy because it's a night shoot and we're trying to do our job. And, you know, when you're driving, you want to make sure nobody gets in your way. And now you see something from the peripheral and it's a paparazzi just doing their job. I get it, but it's a safety issue. So that was an interesting job for sure.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, the cinemas that you have been in show international gross sales in over 85 different countries. First of all, congratulations. And second, how might you explain that feat?
Say that again.
You were shown as having grosses in 85 different countries.
Yes.
How is it that you crossed your cinema presence crossed that many countries?
That I do not know. I've been very lucky to be hired to work on some amazing projects with amazing stunt coordinators. And I love the opportunities. when I first started working on NCIS LA, for example, we were already in our first season when that show got picked up for syndication. So I was just absolutely blessed that I was able to be a part of that family for as long as I was. And I know that's a foreign filmed showed film project TV show. And of course, being a part of the Fast and Furious family, well, that helps a lot. So I guess I mean, like, I don't know when I get a project where that's going to go, where it's going to air, where it's going to be seen. But I'm very lucky that I have been asked to be a part of some great projects that are seen all over the world.
Let's talk genres.
Okay.
Which are your favorites?
All of them. I love them all. It's like the seasons of the year. I don't have a favorite. I like a little bit of this for a while, then I like a little bit of that for a while. You know, it really just, it often will depend like what's going on in my life, you know, will kind of be where I favor to, but I love this entire industry, except for the rejection. I hate that part.
Are there any substantial differences in stunt work between television and motion pictures?
You know, one moves a little faster than the other. I think television moves faster than film. But then, you know, if a film has a shorter wrap date, like if we're on a project that shoots in 15 days, they'll tend to go fast, just like a TV show. But for the most part, TV films faster than film does. That'd be my answer. Let's see if anybody disagrees with me. They could comment below.
Okay, being that you're known as a badass, off screen, do you seek to embrace your feminine side or do you conceal it?
I don't conceal anything about who I am. I'm pretty much an open book. I feel that I've tried to be as genuine as I possibly can. I don't try to be a badass when I'm not working or overly feminine. I am who I am, like Popeye. But I do tend to dress up more. I like to be a little bit more fancy in my own personal life than my characters might be. That being said, I do spend a lot of time at the ranch with my horse, and that's not glamorous by any means, but it's fun and it makes my heart happy. But yeah, I'm lucky that I get to work in my occupation that's very physical and demanding, and a lot of the stuff they have me do might not be that, it's not glamorous. It's not getting like tackled or falling downstairs, getting hit by cars, stuff like that. Being a zombie, being a creature walker, none of that's glamorous, but it's so much fun. And in my work, I have fun, and in my personal life, I have fun. So if badassery falls into there anywhere, I'll take it.
What can you share with us about your family and their backgrounds?
Well, nobody in my family is in this industry. My grandmother, Joyce, was a horse trainer. That's my maternal grandmother. She was a horse trainer, and I lived with her for a few years when I was younger. And she is one of my inspirations. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know it until I got older, that because of her being so tough and just, you know, doing what needed to be done, being in an occupation that was not necessarily for women back in her day, that she was always an inspiration, that you can just do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter what anybody says, just be you and have fun and be tough. My grandma Joyce was a tough woman. So, you know, that's a little bit of some family background. Other than that, you know, I do have some family members, again, my aunts on my maternal side of the family who are in rodeo, love horses. I guess there's a horse theme in my family for sure. But nobody else in my family is in the film television industry. I do have a sister who is I don't know what her exact title is. I would not call it an influencer. She does a lot on Twitch, and she produces all her content, and it's absolutely amazing. If anyone wants to check it out, A-Tray. Yeah, she's awesome. She's great. She's like nerdy and cute and everything all rolled into one. And she's smart as can be.
And how about your heritage and your roots?
Well, that's always funny. So when I was younger, I always would see like, the cartoon Pocahontas, and I always think like, that's me, I'm Pocahontas. And my mom would go, no, Tammie, you're Spanish and French. She called it French. And I'd be like, you sure? Because I feel like I relate to Pocahontas. She's like, no, no, no. So cut to, I do my ancestry, and I am Native American from Mexico. And I call my mom. I'm like, I told you, I knew it. I knew who I was at a young age. And I can't get too mad at my mom, maybe a little mad, but not too much, because back then they didn't ask like, oh, what's your heritage? So I am Native American from Mexico on my biological father's side of the family. And my mother is French and Scottish. And that's my awesome heritage. Very feisty and ornery. And I'm a Taurus. I was born on Cinco de Mayo, so I'm the bull. And I feel like I represent that 100%.
Have you spent much time in Mexico?
Yes, I not for pleasure as much as I should. We filmed Fear the Walking Dead season 2 and 3 in Mexico. So I was there a lot for work, and I had so much fun, like so much fun.
Well, I'm coming to you from Mexico.
Oh, where in
Ensenada.
Mexico are you?
Yeah, yeah,
Where are you in Mexico?
yes, in
No, where?
Ensenada,
Oh, Ensenada. Very nice.
Baja,
Yeah. We stayed at Rosarita Hotel, the resort.
Rosarito.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So much
definitely.
fun. Oh, so much fun. There was, different stunt people who I was working with. A few of them, like this one guy, Edwin, he made friends with these gentlemen who would go out every day, catch fish, and then they would bring it back and cook it fresh. And they stayed open until everything was gone. I was like, oh, my mouth is watering just having that
Nothing
memory.
better,
Yeah,
nothing
so
better.
good. Yeah. And then there's
That's
the
great.
tequila, but.
Is there anything that I've missed, Tammie? Anything that you'd like to mention or pitch?
No pitches right now. We just came off of the strike. And so sadly, I don't have any work that I can promote. I will say, and I think I said this already, the film and television industry is fun. It's amazing. It's hard. There's so much rejection, but if you passionately love it the way I do, it really is a great industry for you. You have to have that passion. It just can't be a whim. Oh, you know what? I do have something. I worked on a project that will be coming out in January, and it's called Griselda. And I doubled Sofia Vergara on it. And I'm very, very excited for that one to come out. So I don't know when this is going to air, but I definitely recommend people check that one out. See if you could ever tell when it's her and when it's me. And the answer will always be no, because I love that. I had some people back when I was working on Longmire who were just sticklers about watching Longmire to see if they could tell when it was the actress and when it was me. I was like, you guys, stop it. If you can tell, movie magic. Earlier you asked me about like doubling Katie, and I said, she's amazing and awesome. So is Sophia. Sophia is so sweet and so kind. I love doubling her. The hard part is like she's gorgeous. And I'm not trying to like put myself down or anything, but I'm not Sophia, gorgeous, but I'm cute. But when you're doubling like the most beautiful woman in the world, it's like, oh my gosh, it's an intimidating and complimentary at the same time.
Sophia has great comedic timing.
Oh,
What do you enjoy doing comedy?
I would love to do more comedy. Yes. No, Sophia, it would be a dream. It would be a dream to work in a scene with her. It'd be great to work with Katie Seagal. I would love to work with the actresses I've doubled in an acting role. Like that would be a dream come true. But Sophia's timing is spot on. like, I want to say, like, there's nobody better. Like, she nails it and she owns comedic timing. But you'll see when you see Griselda, she also owns this.
Now that the strikes are over, do you have anything coming up in 2024?
Not yet. Right now, I just want to finish out the year. Normally in December's plural, like there's more than one. In December, I just like to take it easy and enjoy the holiday. So that's what I'm going to do. And then hopefully on January 1st, my telephone rings and I get back to work. I like my years to be in like a lion, out like a lamb. So I like them to start off strong and kind of go out.
Well, thank you for joining us on Boomer Pod, Tammie.
Thank you for having me.
Will you see us at a later date and give us some updates on what's happening in the new year?
For sure. Like, I'll have much more to talk about in the new year once I get back to work.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Stay well, Tammie.
Thank you. You too. Have a wonderful end of the year. I'll talk to you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
And thanks to our valued audience. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you in 2024 with more interesting celebrity interviews on the Boomer Pod podcast.
And you will be happy too.